is changing. Direct sales is changing, and it's just such a great environment to be in now.
Welcome to the Other 99% podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Duck, a coffee-loving direct sales enthusiast who's obsessed with a good digital system. Come join me for a realistic look into the world of direct sales. We'll explore inspiring perspectives, learn about unique business tips, and celebrate success stories that often go untold. Because on the Other 99%, every seller matters.
Hey everyone, it is me, Lisa, and welcome back to another episode of The Other 99%. I'm here today with our co-host, Susan Larimer, and our special guest, Liz. Is it Liz Ruiz, right? Is that how you say it?
Ruis, like
Ruiz,
Louis, but with an R.
Okay.
Ruis.
I
know.
Okay. I'm very bad with names, so I always hesitate in saying last names, but I'm like, I think I got yours, but thank you for correcting me. All right. Well, Liz, can you just jump in and sort of tell the listeners who you are, what you do, why you started direct sales, and all that stuff?
Sure. Well, I'm really happy to be here today. Thank you for having me. I'm Liz Ruiz, and I am in direct sales. I also have 2 part-time jobs, and I homeschool my daughter. Our family lives within 5 miles of us, both sets of parents and our siblings. And so we're really involved in our family's lives. We're really involved in our church life. Our daughter likes to be in plays, so she almost always has one of those going on. She's 16, so it comes with just raising a teen. But that's kind of how our life is set up. Yeah.
So I know Liz from Lemongrass Spa. She is a fellow Lemongrass Spa consultant. So I got to hear Liz at one of our workshops at our convention last month, or 2 months ago now. Oh my gosh, almost 6 weeks ago. And she was so inspiring because she does in-home party events very differently. So Liz, I don't know if you want to jump in with that. Maybe tell us how you got into direct sales, why Lemongrass Spa, and then jump into how you run your business.
Okay. I am that customer. I'm that person that we hear about that they say, keep putting the content out there, keep contacting them, keep staying in touch, keep staying in a relationship, and eventually something will happen. I'm the person, okay? I'm the person that they preach about. I tried a sample of body polish in 2020. Well, actually, my friend, who's now my upline, gave me a little sample of it. This was when we were, COVID days, and we weren't getting together. We weren't getting, I had just had COVID, and it had been 2 to 3 months. I couldn't smell or taste a thing.
Oh dear.
And when my sense of smell started coming back, everything smelled horrible. Everything smelled like chemical. I couldn't stand my Gain detergent. I couldn't stand my Bath and Body Works products. I couldn't stand. I had like this really expensive Ralph Lauren perfume, and then this other perfume you can only get from Norway. Like, I was really into all of my scents and my signature scent and all that, and it all smelled the same to me. Wow. Gain detergent from like the most expensive, perfume I had on my vanity all smelled like straight chemical. And I was really sad over that. Nothing smelled good anymore, except like when I was eating fruit or something like that. Nothing smelled good anymore. And so she gave me this little, hey, I love you, I miss you, and put this in my mailbox. And I don't know, I saw it and I was like, yeah, I might as well throw it away. It's going to smell like everything else. And I just put it under the sink. And at some point I pulled it out and I was like, I'll just give it a try. I mean, why not? And I opened it. It was called Honey Glow, and it actually smelled like honey. And I started crying because I had not smelled anything pretty, if that makes sense, to put on myself for months. And I thought that part of my life was just gone. Wow. I wasn't going to get that back. And so I called her, I texted her, and I was like, why does this smell good?
Yeah.
And I need every other thing, like whatever this brand is, I need every other thing that they make that's scented. And that's what got me there. That's really what got me into trying. And then I just kind of like watched her for a long time. She would post on Facebook and stuff. And I'll just be honest, I had a really bad taste in my mouth for direct sales. Mm-hmm. I think that everybody has experienced direct sales trauma in some way. in the past, even those of us that are in direct sales now. And we're probably in direct sales now because we saw the way it was done that we didn't like. And we're like, yeah, not going to replicate that. And so we have, a different way of doing it. But, and even still, when somebody says I'm in direct sales, I'm like, can we just say sales? Because it has a negative stigma. We've all had the direct sales trauma of like being, one of the 100 on somebody's list, and they haven't talked to us since high school, and now they're going to sell us the latest and greatest. And then they like bombard our DMs, for months. And then anyway, we've all had that. And direct sales is changing, direct sales is changing. And it's just such a great environment to be in now. But that's how I got introduced to the product. How did I start selling? I feel like it was just a series of events. I don't want to go into too much stuff. Like I already said a lot, but
no, share as much as you like. Everybody loves hearing stories, so share as much as you love. Yeah.
Basically, I'm here because of relationship. So Leah, who's my upline, she had had the vision for her team to be friends and having a Bible study together and just really doing life together. And so they were having a Bible study and invited me to it because I found out that I was called, let me back up. I found out that I was called a kidnapper when I went to conference. I didn't even know. I was like, oh, I'm that person. Basically, I wanted to try the skincare, but I didn't want to pay full price because I didn't know if I liked it or not. Mm-hmm. And when I saw that you could get the skincare for like a percentage off, I talked to her about it. I kept asking her questions about it for months and months. And then finally I was just like, all right, bite the bullet, just do it. And so I got the skincare. Well, since that made me a consultant, technically, even though I just wanted it for that kit, she started sending me all of her consultant stuff. So little tidbit here, people change their mind, and what they enter it for is not necessarily what they'll continue to be in it for. So don't let even people on your team that feel like disconnected and want nothing to do with you, don't let that discourage you from still reaching out to them, because you never know when their life changes and you are what they need at that point in time. And that's what happened. My life changed. My two closest friends moved away within the same month, one on the other side of the state and one on the other side of the country in California. And I live in Georgia. And so I needed friends. I needed a relationship. And she invited me to their Bible study, direct sellers and a Bible study. I was like, this sounds weird, but okay, I'll go. I love them. I love Jesus. We'll go. And I love the community. I just really love the community. I was starting to make friends with these girls. They were filling a need in me that I had, which was for relationship and friendship. And then the fact that we could all get together and just be like giddy over our favorite products and just talk. Not everybody wants to hear you go on and on about your favorite things, but it was a safe space to do that and just have fun and try new things and get to know each other. So I did that. And then about a year later, they were going to conference. They invited me to come to conference. And I was like, okay, I just felt really led to go. And I said, I think that I'm going to feel awkward. I'm not selling anything to anybody. I'm just buying it for myself. I think I'm going to feel weird. And they're like, no, just come. You just need a good girls weekend. It's going to be fun. You're not going to feel weird. And yeah, that's what happened. I had the best time. I had the time of my life. And then the very last session, one of the ladies was sharing about earning the incentive trip. And I saw where they had been and what they had done. And like 40 ladies had earned it. And I was like, oh, good for y'all. You go, girl. And they were talking about the next place was going to be in Mexico. And it looked amazing. And I thought, wow, I've always wanted to do that. And I'm going, well, I will be so proud. Whoever does that, I will be so proud of them. I will be really, really proud of them because I know they will have worked really hard. So I'm sitting there and like listening to the person that earned it and went, and I'm like, she did such a great job. There's going to be other ones in here that earned the trip. And then a lady from the company got up at the end and she was like, this could be you. And I don't know why, but that phrase in that moment of my life was life-changing. This could be you, 4 words. And I was like, why am I discounting myself? Why am I saying in this room full of hundreds of women that I couldn't be the one? Like, I love these products. I can share with people. And so when they said, you sell this much amount and you can go on a 4-day, all expenses paid to a all-inclusive resort. And I'd always wanted to do that. I was always jealous of the people that went to Sandals for their honeymoon and stuff like that. Like, we went to the beach because somebody gave us their condo for the week. Like, we weren't the all-inclusive. We just didn't have it like that, So I was like, I'm going to get that. We're going. So I bebop out of that conference, and I get in the car, and I'm like, oh, we're going to be going to Playa del Carmen in May, and it's going to be covered, all expenses paid, whatever. And Lance is like, right, how much are you going to have to sell to get that? And I told him, and he laughed. He goes, you can't do that. And I was like, oh, I will.
That's all you needed.
No, it wasn't like that. He knew. He was like, you got too much going on. You got 2 jobs. You're very, very much present in our daughter's life, homeschool group, all that we do with our church, all we do with our family. He's like, when do you have time for this? You don't have time for this. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to ask God to help me, and I'm going to figure it out. What I could see was him and I on the beach, looking out at the water, relaxing for 4 days with no responsibility. And I wanted that so bad. And so it's been a relationship the whole time. Relationship brought me in to even caring about the products, because somebody that loved me and missed me gave me a gift. Relationship brought me into the group, the small group that they were doing. Relationship brought me to conference. Relationship led me to go after the goal of that trip. And so I've earned two incentive trips back to back, working on the 3rd now. I plan to be in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic in May. Yeah, I don't know. Did I answer the questions?
Absolutely, absolutely. So Susan said that you have a unique way of running your in-person businesses, like parties or events, or can you sort of jump into that and share a little bit of an insight for our listeners?
Sure. Okay, so that really goes back to when I told my husband I was going to do this. He was like, you don't have time. And he was right. I don't have time in the traditional sense. I can't take 1, 2, 3 nights a week and be, going all around the county and surrounding counties and doing pop-up shows or the traditional in-home events. I want to be so present in my daughter's life. I didn't want to cancel anything I was already doing. So the thought that God gave me was add it in to whatever you already have going on. So if you're going to a ladies event, how can what you have and what you do enhance that experience? If you have a friend that's going to have a birthday anyway, and you're going to be celebrating it, what can you do to enhance that experience? You've got a group in the ladies that you're going to be in the church that you're going to be blessing. How can you use what you do with Lemongrass Spa to enhance that experience? And so that's what I've done. And it's just come from the desire of, I really want to share these products because I love them so much. And also I love being in a relationship with people. So how can we put the two together? So some things that I've done, like recently at our church, we had this little gathering for the widows of our church, and we were going to give them a gift. And so I bring in Lemongrass Spa products as a gift. And we had like some soaps that we set out in the bathrooms, and just, we didn't say, hey, this is Lemongrass Spa products. I just brought it in to enhance the experience. And from that, I've had some ladies be interested and like, oh, I know you sell this. I'd like to see your catalog. So in a couple months, I've got a little get together I'm going to do with those ladies where we're just going to do facials, and we're going to have a little spa time together. But I would be with those ladies anyways. They're already part of my life. And so I'm looking at what can I do with my business to bless them and hopefully be able to help them as a customer in the future. Also, I've done birthday parties for friends, and the time to do a birthday party for a friend, for me, from my experience, is there's like a big milestone they're hitting. They're turning 30, they're turning 40, or you've got a friend in your life that they've been struggling, and everybody around you and around them knows it. And everybody wants to do something to love on them and to help them and to support them, but nobody knows what. Like, you can only take so many meals.
I was going to say, it always comes back to food.
You can only give so many Amazon gift cards. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I look for ladies that could use extra little love. And when you say, hey, we're having a birthday party from our friend Josie, and we want you to come, and they're like, oh, yes, let's celebrate her. She is so deserving of some celebration. And in lieu of bringing a gift, she has a list of items she would really like from Lemongrass Spa. And if you want to get her something, you can. And we'll be doing facials as part of the party. And so it's just like, oh, we're going to put those two things together. So Josie ends up going home with everything she ever wanted from Lemongrass. You've got 10 or 15 people that have now been exposed to it for the first time. Some of those are ordered from you. Some of those become new customers. And Josie is now a consultant because she loves the product so much. So you see how it just all comes a natural progression, and it's just working into the rhythm of my life. And I'm not having to be like, okay, every Tuesday and Thursday night I'm setting aside so that I can go do parties and I have to leave my family. No, like I've got 2 more years left with my daughter, and I'm not sacrificing the time that I have with her. And this is what I've been able to, that's what I've been able to do in order for that. The same thing we applied the same thing. We've done a graduation party before, where the grad like picks out what she wants, and we're doing facials for the graduation party, and we have little hors d'oeuvres or whatever, and they do the facial, they buy the things that they want, she gets everything she ever wanted, and there's another opportunity for another consultant.
Yeah, that's a complete script flip. You're so servant focused, like service focused. How can I serve you? How can I honor you? How can I bless you? And the sales come, but your sales are a way to bless other people, which is a completely different way of thinking about direct sales.
Well, I don't like to sell.
Yeah.
I don't like to sell. I'm not a salesman. I'm not a saleswoman. I don't like to sell. Whenever we sold like chocolate bars and M&Ms in high school, I was not the seller of the year. I mean, I did not like, it's just, I'm not a cold caller kind of person. But it's amazing how your friends that it grows. The sphere grows, and you get introduced to new people, and you start, I don't know, it's just really, it's a neat circle of how it works. So, yeah.
And they know your heart too. They know where you're coming from. It's not like, oh, here comes Liz, she's going to try to sell me something. It's more like, ooh, Liz, she blesses people. Like, I want to hang on to her because I'm going to get products from her, and we're going to have fun doing facials. So you bring the
hopefully that's what people think.
I'm sure.
So.
That's awesome. So I know you get your family involved in the business too. I remember hearing that you got your dad involved and helping you earn that trip, and I'm sure your daughter gets involved. So how does your family help you run your business?
My family is, I'd say, my number one success factor, and everybody does it a little differently. My husband is helpful because he uses the products, and I'll hear him having a conversation with his friends about the products because they're in the same boat, like thinning hair. Hey, guess what? Men get wrinkles and don't like it too, and so he's very supportive in that, like, we have a big group of people coming over here tonight, and he's been trying to clean and everything, but he knows how important this time is for me. So he makes space as much as possible for, when something's important to me. And he supports me. He cheers me on. My daughter could care less about the products, but she knows she's just not a product girl. She don't care. But she loves her hair. She loves her shampoo, and she'll tell everybody about that. She'll help me put together, like when I do gift sets for Christmas, she'll be involved and help me put all that together. My dad, he is a salesman. He loves having a list of 100 names and calling them and hoping 10 people say yes. He loves that. I did not get that from him at all. So when he saw, and he loves goals. So when he saw that I had a goal and what I needed to make in order to, reach going to the trip, the vacation, he was like, okay, how are we doing this month? How much? I mean, he's like my cheerleader, and he's making sure I'm staying on track every time we talk. And he's one of my jobs. I work for him. I work for him in his nonprofit. Almost every time we talk, he's asking me, what are your numbers? How are you doing? Have you hit your goal? How far are you from your goal? And I remember we were doing bliss boxes. This would have been 2 Februarys ago. And a bliss box is kind of like an Ipsy Glam box or something like that, where it's not a subscription, but it comes out 4 times a year. It's one box. You don't know what's in it. And it was for Valentine's Day. And he's like, oh, I'm going to sell 30 of those for you. And I was like, 30? I think I might have sold not even 10 total before, And sure enough, he sold, I think, like 32 or something, bliss boxes, because he just got on the phone and he was like, hey, so-and-so, it's Valentine's Day. You got anything for your wife yet? I hadn't even thought about it. Okay, well, I have this box. It's $45. It's going to come right to your door. She's going to love it. And they're like, okay, get one for my daughter too. It just was so, I don't know. And so he did that. And then come this year, he'd been joking about, well, I might become a consultant. And I'm like, Dad, you're 72 and it's mostly women and you don't, no, just, you can just help me when you want to. And then God was like, you're blocking him. He wants to do this. Why would you say no? So last year he became a consultant. And let me just tell you, bliss boxes are his thing. He's going to sell 30 or 40 of them each time.
Oh my gosh.
And that's what he does. He just focuses basically on holidays and fundraisers. He's not really trying to, hand out catalogs and sell stuff, And what happens is like somebody will get a bliss box from him, and the wife will love it, and then she'll contact me about what else do you have. So it's just like this whole circle of help. My mom is also a consultant, and she loves the products, and she's quick to share about it with her friends. And then my sister, she's not a consultant, but she's probably sent me more leads than anybody else ever has, because she's just quick to be like, oh, my sister can help you with that.
Wow.
So it's definitely a family affair.
That's so cool.
It's always great to get the family involved, because then your business feels a little bit more, right? And then having just something on the side that's just you. So I love hearing that your family is so involved with you. Now, I if you don't know me, you know that I absolutely love online stuff, digital stuff, social stuff. So I hear that you're talking a lot about in-person side of your business. Do you have any part of your business that you run online? Like, do you have an online community? And if so, how do you service them?
Yeah, I do have an online community. My little tagline is "You Glow Girl." So my community is called Glow Girl, and it's a Facebook group that I have. And yeah, I do. I feel like I'm growing there. They're amazing and fantastic. I'm the one that's having to do a lot of the growing. So I try daily to say something about a product and how to use it and how it would be helpful, what problem it would solve. And also, I call anything I do lemongrass and Jesus, because I'm going to give you the product, but I'm also going to give you some Jesus too, because the two go together, and the two, for me, work together in my life. So I put a lot of encouragement on there, offer to pray for people. Once a week, I'll do a Glow Girl of the Week and celebrate somebody in the group that's just like an amazing, they don't even have to be a customer. They're amazing supporter. Yeah. And then I do some videos, like reels. I haven't done them as much lately, but it is what brought me into the online space of doing tip videos, tip reels, and things like that. And sometimes I get my husband involved, and they're funny and silly, and people love that.
Yeah,
that's
great.
Awesome.
The only really way that I sell online is I don't really do Facebook group or Facebook parties like that. I sell to my group, of course, and then I do text events. And those have been successful for me. But I don't do the blanket, this is text number 1 of 30. I make it individualized, truly individualized, and customized to each person. I actually have a for real conversation with each person in the text event. And that has been great for my business too.
Do you use Project Broadcast for that?
Awesome.
I do. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we've had other guests on our podcast. We had another guest who swore that Facebook was the way to run your business. We had someone else say, you know what, email marketing is where it's at. That's where you need to be. So give us your best reasons for why in-person events are the place to run your business.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to think about that for a second. I think it's going to be connected to every way to sell. I'm going to try vendor events. I'm going to try in person. I'm going to try online. I'm going to do the little reels. Like whatever is working, I'm going to try it. And I'm not going to stay in one camp, because that's how your business will die, is if you're just like, I'm holding on to this and I'm never changing. So I'm always going to try all the things. For me, it goes back to, and you're saying like basically compelling arguments for keeping it in person. I would say above that, the compelling argument I have is, who are you? What are your gifts? What are you good at? And then go in the space where, I don't want to say you're most comfortable, because if we just go where we're comfortable and never grow, go into the space where you are seeing yourself grow. and where you are seeing your business start to come alive. And for me, that was just in personal. I am very relationship based, and you can be super relational and be on social media or just be, like online. But what's best for me is being relational with the people that I know and love. Now, if you're not a people person, in person's not for you. It is not for you. You have to be ready to be on when you're around people. But I love being around people. I love people. I needed my friends to support what I'm doing because I just don't have the time to be going to all these different areas at this point in my life, all these different places, and hoping people show up. So this is what has worked for me, and I would say every space is important, and I would argue for every place and every space is important. And I'll never say like I'm only in person or I'm only in home. Wherever I am in life, I'm gonna take my product with me and look for people that I can bless along the way. So that's in home, I'm gonna be there. If it's at a vendor event, I'm gonna be there. If it's doing something online, then I'll be there too.
Good answer.
Now, you got my brain excited. You got my brain excited when you mentioned Project Broadcast, because anyone who knows me knows I'm a systems girl, and I love all of the systems out there. Can you give us a little bit of a dive into what you use Project Broadcast for in your business? Like, do you have, I know you mentioned text parties, but like, do you do your follow-up in there? How do you use that in your day-to-day business?
Yeah. So I'm by no means like an expert at it, and systems work when you work the system. And I don't always work my system. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But when I do work my system, it works. I can tell you what doesn't work for me. When I started automating things and people knew they were one of 100 people getting the same message, it was the death of Project Broadcast for me, the death of it. Because people know me as relational. And so when my messages started coming across as marketing and spam, because listen, we're all getting it this morning already. Chili's has texted me, JCPenney has texted me, Belk has texted me, I don't know who else, and I don't want to just be in the lineup. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just be like, oh, that's another thing, I'm just gonna swipe. I want them to get my message and be like, what's Liz saying today? So I really try to keep everything very personal. If it's not personal, this is what I do. If it's not personal, I'll put a tagline at the top, Lemongrass News or something like that. So people know I'm intentionally selling to you in this moment. This is not like a check-in. And then everything else, if I use their name, I did not send it to 100 people. I sent it to them individually. And so when I first started using Project Broadcast, I feel like I really deadened relationships that I had built because I was all in on the like automation thing and yada, yada, yada. And that severed relationships for me. Now, if it's a brand new person and they're connected to you only for lemongrass, for whatever you're selling, that probably works well, but it did not for me. So I had to go more the way of, keeping up with people. Now I have a lot of people to keep up with. How do I do that? Well, I just have a system I have something that tells me, hey, today contact these 5 people. And then tomorrow contact these 5 people. And the next day contact. Yeah, that's how it works for me.
And that system that you have for the contacting people, what do you
Penny.
use?
I use Penny.
Okay.
Penny, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it sends you like reminders versus the message going out automatically on your behalf. You get a reminder. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Yes. And you can put in there when they order, you can put in there, basically you pull it up and it's like everything you've ever done profile for one person. It also connects to Facebook. I will say that I might not have chosen it if I had done a little more research, but I started paying for the fee. I started working in it. And then once you're in it, you're in it. You know what I'm saying? So I have had to kind of make it work for me. It's more for a lot in direct sales where you're really trying to, your main goal is selling the business over and over and over and not necessarily selling product and being a customer service type person. But I've just learned how to make it work for me.
Yeah, because I know Susan and I were looking at Penny at one point, and we actually got on a call and we were trying to figure out how to work it. So I love hearing that you've found a way to make it work for your business, because probably a lot of our listeners are missing the Sell with Amy app. I don't know if you've ever used that one, but
Say it again.
it was Sell with Amy.
Oh, I have
And
not heard of that.
well, it's
It's
not
not around
around
anymore.
anymore. So
Oh, okay.
Don't write it
yeah,
down.
yeah. So yeah, that's why
I
we
was
were
getting
like
ready
trying.
to.
No, we were like, what are you using? Because we were looking for a replacement for
Yeah.
that one. Yeah, so it's great.
I do have a system when someone becomes a customer for the first time. I have like a series of 6 messages I make sure that I send them, and I will schedule those ahead of time. But they are personal, if that makes sense. Like I mean, it will say what they purchased. It'll say, I don't know. I have like a series, and that series of 6 messages kind of like teaches them what I do, how I do it, brings them into how I do things, and yeah, kind of get people oriented to being part of Glow Girl.
Yeah. Is there another system, Lisa? Like, because I hear what she's saying, and I know that, my project broadcast, my customer care, it is automated. And I maybe I have lost people because they're like, hey, that's not like, it's Susan, but I got this message
So
last month too. So
the only actual app that I know of right now that is even close to the Sell with Amy is Genie Chat, and it's like a lot more direct sales friendly. It was made by Jessica Kane for the direct sales field. I'll drop a link in the show notes too if anyone's interested in taking a look at it. But I mean, it does the reminders. It has even an option like boards, like they call it a snippet option. So you know how on boards you have places where you could keep important information, and then you could just click on it and it goes and you could customize it. So she has that as well. And she has a way to connect all of their social platforms. And so it's an easy one click to message them from within the app. But that's really the only one that I found that is close to the Sell with Amy that's out there right now. Yeah. Yeah.
There's definitely
Yeah.
somebody could make some money coming up with a really good system that's flexible.
I keep telling my son, I'm like, oh my goodness, we definitely need to like look into building an app. We have all the brains and the know-how of what needs to be done. It's just you need to make it like user friendly. And but like I said, the Genie Chat is one that if you're looking at something, I would highly recommend taking a peek. And it's not really that expensive either. So yeah. All right. So
all right.
Liz, do you do anything off like email marketing wise or anything like that, or do you?
Yeah, I do from time to time. I would say
Yeah.
I'm not consistent at it, but I do send some emails from time to time. Yeah. And I like to share what's going on, not just sales, but what I've done, what I've been a part of, the fundraisers I've gotten to be part of, the give backs I've gotten to do. It creates goodwill. It creates warmth when people see your name. When people see when people see my name, I want them to see who I am and not the product I sell. So, sharing what you're doing outside of selling product will bring that to people's mind. Yeah.
So we've heard you mention your faith a lot throughout this podcast episode. And it's interesting. My husband's a pastor. We are a Christian family. And I always see, I don't know if this is right or if this is blasphemous, but I always see such a parallel between sharing Jesus with people and sharing clean products with people. Like I have these 2 separate missions that, you're kind of like recruiting and sharing in the same way, even though one is Jesus and one is lotion, But
Yeah.
tell us how your
Yeah.
faith plays a part in your business.
I'm going to say that, well, it's the foundation. It's the foundation of my life, and it's the foundation for how I approach anything. When you have a lot of pain in your life, you need a remedy for that pain, and my faith has been my remedy for that pain. I would say that my business has actually helped me share my faith more authentically, because that is what we're all trying to do, is share in a way that is who we are, and then people buy. That's what we want to do, you know? And it's funny because when I first started selling and I would start having sales conversations, I'm like, who am I and why am I talking like this? Do you know what I could feel something change in my brain. And it was similar to whenever I would go to share my faith with a stranger or something like that. It was almost like you became this, I would just start talking a different way or had a different way of saying, I don't know. And I didn't like it. And so like, if I really love this water bottle because when I close it and I turn upside down in my bag, it does not leak. And it keeps things cold for hours, and it has like the perfect amount of water and like ice in it. It's just a perfect size. It fits in my cup holder. Okay, I just told you that. I didn't need to go, this is the best thing ever, and I'm going to tell you why. It is so good because you see this lid right here? Such a neat lid. You know, and then it become this person that I'm not. And I would do that when I'd hold up a product, and I'd be like, become this person that I wasn't. I'm going, okay, if I can just tell you about this, and now you're probably like, could you send me the Amazon link? That's what I'm going for. Do you know what I'm saying? So then like I'm using this lip balm, this Healing Elements lip balm. Okay, why am I using it as lip balm? Because there's nothing else that keeps me from having cracked lips. End of story. I don't have to be like, let me tell you the top 3 ingredients in here and why it's so fantastic. No, if I told you this keeps me from having chapped lips every single day, you'd be like, send me the link. If it was Amazon, no different, you know. Same thing with my faith. Like I've just gotten more like casual and real about being able to share and not feel like I've put on this song and dance whenever it goes to this subject. So I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to be real. I want to be real in how I share. I don't know if I answered that well or not, but
that was good.
No, I think it's great. And I love the fact that you come across as a big believer in building the know, like, and trust factor, right? You want your customers to truly know who you are and like you for that reason. And I love that because I'm so much like that, because I'm like you. Yeah. Like I'm not there to impress anyone, song and dance. You like me, I'm sharing something that I love. I think that you'll love it. So I love that you share that. And I know that Susan prepped you for this question, because I asked this of all of my guests. What is like one quote or piece of advice? And I'm excited to hear this because of getting to know you on the podcast, that you think every direct seller needs to hear.
Okay. It's not from like any big name person. It's from a friend of mine. Her name is Angela Hutchinson. And she shared this quote one day. She was starting a new workout program. And she shared this quote one day, and it has stuck with me. I want to see what happens when I don't give up. And that's it. I want to see what happens when the goal that's set before me and the vision is set before me and I don't give up. And that's my encouragement to all direct sellers. You started it for a reason. What was the reason? Why? Why did you start? And speak over yourself. I want to see what happens when I don't give up. And that's what I did. And I'm going to keep doing that too. I want to see what happens when I don't give up.
Yeah.
That is so good. So good.
That's great.
Awesome. Well, Liz, can you tell the listeners where we can find you?
Sure. I have a website, lizruis.com. That's pretty easy. Ruis.com. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram, also Liz Ruis. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you so much, and thank you for being here. We've enjoyed listening to everything that you've shared, and I know that the listeners are going to have lots to take away. And I hope everybody comes back and joins us on another episode of The Other 99%. We'll see you again next week, everyone. Bye.
That's a wrap for today's episode of The Other 99%. We just want to say thank you. It truly means the world to us that you're here. Lisa and I absolutely love creating these episodes for you, and we're so grateful to have you in our community. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to like, share with a friend, leave a review, and subscribe so you never miss a new episode. We drop fresh content every Tuesday. Got thoughts, questions, or ideas? Leave us a comment. Want to be a guest on the show? We would love to chat with you. Apply by clicking the link in the show notes. Thanks again for spending time with us today, and we'll catch you on the next episode of The Other 99%.